Welcome to Seekers of Sarmanath Session 12, Internet. How are you all doing? It has been just a week. God, for whatever reason, it felt like we had been, off for a while. But no, it's been only a week. How have you all been? What you been up to?
Someone else go first. I always go first.
Of course, I was muted. Not too much. Watching the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
My haircut.
Nice.
Been working a lot. Yeah.
How goes the job? This seems to be your, main thing. You still happy with it?
Right. No,
What restaurant do you work at, Dan?
The Spaghetti Factory in downtown Portland.
Okay.
That
Every time I
sounds
talk to
amazing.
you, man, you're like, I'm just working hard, just keep putting in the hours, just grinding
Watching
away.
basketball, working, and going to the gym.
I don't know. It seems to be a big deal for you. Figured I'd ask about it.
If we ever made a Seekers of Sarmanath bingo card, watching basketball, going to the gym, and working would be a bingo space for Dan.
Yeah, that would.
The idea of a bingo card is hilarious to me, but it implies that we have memes that are worth putting on a bingo card. We need to step our meme game up if that's the case.
Oh, so
Yeah, I don't think I say 5 things often enough to have a go line, let alone.
Bay,
I have the
Bay
full
yawns.
bingo card.
That could be one. Rose checks her etiquette book. That could be one.
The mighty
The
bull.
eyes. I feel like the eyes is a great one.
Oh yes, the eyes.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
at least one, yep.
All right. Oh, you got 4.
Greg.
We don't even have a bingo yet.
Greg, I was going to say Greg blows the audience's eardrums out by shouting over the headphones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bit loud. Anyway.
Beast noises for sure.
I was going to say that's okay because the last time we had you do one, I actually gave a headphone warning like twice so everybody could turn their headphones down. It actually worked pretty well because I could tell you were about to.
Look at you, looking out. Good looking out by Mike. All right.
Yep.
Well, what have the rest of you been up to for the last week or so? Anything new and exciting in your lives?
No bakery stuff. Working a crap ton. We had Anzac Day, which is our Memorial Day, and
Okay.
everything shuts. Everything shuts. Nothing is open, and then the next
I
day,
like to have real holidays.
well, it's forced. It's bad juju if you work on Anzac Day in Australia. Seriously, your employer gets flack. It's not you. It's people just go and ruin the business for opening on our big holiday for
Yeah, at this
fallen
point,
soldiers.
people don't even do that in America for businesses that are open on
Yeah.
Christmas.
Well, I think there's one shop that opens on Christmas in Australia as well. We actually have all the big holidays shut down, which is mind-boggling that it actually does happen. But then when I was in America, people were like, I can't believe I can't go to the shop on Easter. I was like, are you serious? It's fucking Easter.
Well, we
Stay
have
home.
what I call time stop day on Sundays because our stores are all closed on Sundays, and there are a lot of people who can't wrap their mind around that. They're like, "What do you mean I can't go out and buy groceries tomorrow?" It's like it's Sunday, everything's closed. It's a thing. Why? It's it's always been that way. And I enjoy it. It's actually quite nice to have every Sunday, everybody's home. It's therefore obviously emergency services and stuff, but nobody goes to the shops.
What do you do? I had this problem when I was done with tax season. I was like, ooh, I have a couple days off. It's sunny. What do people do?
When you describe
Do
that,
I go out?
I
Yeah.
had a fever dream of no traffic on the roads because everyone's at their houses and it was fantastic.
My assumption for Greg is that he just went to a park and played a pickup game of basketball with some strangers.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened. Yes, I went to Tualatin Park and I hooped with a bunch of high schoolers who had no business being on the court with me. I showed some kids what was up. It was good.
Oh my god.
I may not have been home very much, but I know you, Greg.
I mean, there's only so many options, right? If you're gonna go outside, what are you gonna do? There's nothing to do outside.
Well,
So I
Well,
played-
the last
played
thing I do
basketball.
is play basketball with some people I've never met before.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you went and did that, but when I went and said hi to the neighbor while I was in America, it blew his mind that he was out on a frozen lake and somebody would go, "Hey, how's it going?" And you're like, "I'm just gonna go play basketball with the neighborhood kids." Whatever.
I mean, if you're on the court, you're there to hoop. You know what I mean? Like, if you're out on the ice fishing in your little hole, I imagine you probably think you have some solitude, right? Like, who's
he
gonna
was
go bother you
probably
in the
also
hole?
fishing there with his rifle or something next to him, ready to shoot a bear in Alaska or whatever. I don't know.
I wish that would have been amazing.
I thought you were gonna tell me.
Faye's mental image of Americans. We're so gun happy we fish with guns.
That's what I thought she was gonna
Alaska.
say.
That's just Alaska, okay?
Oh, okay.
I thought she was gonna say you were sitting there shooting the fish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Throws bait on the water.
No, in case a bear comes over to steal what you just, to steal your cash or something. Do they have bears in Alaska? I don't know.
There are multiple kinds of bear in Alaska.
See? There you go.
Polar and Kodiak grizzly, the two biggest kinds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Starting to turn into like morphed.
Now it's animals with Mike.
Yeah, yeah. Kangaroo. We'll go back. We'll return
Sex
to
cons
kangaroo
with
facts.
Millman and bear facts with Mike. I think we got the better end of the stick on stream.
Honestly, it still blows my mind that there aren't like naturally occurring deer or other like herbivores besides kangaroos in Australia. Like I can't fathom an ecosystem that doesn't have a deer analog. Like it just blows my mind. I'm not even a redneck, and that blows my mind.
We have big birds though. We have like emus. Like, does that help?
I just imagined like Big Bird from Sesame Street, just like walking around Australia.
Yeah.
Like we have big birds.
Yeah, we have a big black bird essentially.
You also have aren't cassowaries also Aren't cassowaries Australian? Because they are like scary as fuck. Like they're colorful, they're big, and they are like
have sharp
aggressive.
talons. Yes.
Yeah, they're aggressive. Like they are scary. They're really scary. An emu is
Funny
nothing
fact.
in comparison.
Cassowaries and emus, you don't wear black leather jackets on while you're around them because they'll try to mate with you. It's fucking hilarious.
That does not sound hilarious to me. That sounds
It is
awful.
fucking hilarious. My uncle owned, I think it was cassowaries. He just had these two fucking birds in one of the horse fields. And I was like, why do you have two big fucking cassowaries? And he's like, they keep people and wild dogs and stuff out of the field, right? So the horses won't get attacked. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm like, what's the leather jacket for on the thing? And he was like, put it on and wave your arms around. You'll find out. I was like, no. Because they start waving their fucking wings around and they're like, come over here, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll
but what bird protects horses, right? That already tells you all you gotta know. It's like this giant aggressive
Bird, yeah.
I mean, I believe it. Geese are not particularly big, but I think like a swarm of geese could protect my horses. Like, I believe it.
I think
No,
they're definitely
fucking
more
swans.
brutal, like,
Swans are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Isn't a swan and a
Yeah.
goose largely the same
Swan.
thing? I don't know
Yeah.
much about avians, but I thought
Yeah,
they
I
were
think
like the
swans
same
are just
thing.
white geese.
Yeah,
Kind of
okay.
like doves or white pigeons.
Right, okay, good. I'm glad
I'm gonna
on
anger
same
the bird
page.
community by
I'm
saying
glad we figured
Yeah, I
it
was gonna
Yeah,
say,
they're so angry
Wow,
right now. I'm
that's
waiting for your tweets. I'm gonna go scrolling through your tweets later, and it's just gonna be.
it's just gonna be bird hate. Yeah.
Just one bird lover in your community is just on it.
Well, Holly Conrad does not follow me, so I won't get.
Ooh, you'll be
She's
safe.
the one bird lover that I follow. So
Yeah, pigeons for days, son.
yeah,
Pigeons
Yeah.
for days. I follow her too.
Yeah.
That like baby chicken that's like trying to nestle up with the fucking Pigeon.
I dropped the links to the
Okay,
episodes page and orcs in chat.
very good. Check those out.
Our next Slapdash LUQ recording session is this Wednesday. We are gonna do a Q&A for that show at some point in time, so you guys can tweet at me or at the Slapdash page with the hashtag. I'm pretty sure it's LUQA. I don't know why it's not LUQNA, but it's just LUQA, and we'll do a Q&A session at some point in time. So if you have LUQ questions.
Oh, you gotta at me when you gotta do
I-
that.
I appreciate getting the plugging in early. This is good.
Yeah.
Get the plug in. Sweet.
Don't worry, it'll come afterwards too.
The double plug.
Yeah.
I think Millman might know a few things
Yeah,
about
no, I
that.
was gonna say,
Yeah, Zach actually told us we've passed 3,000 total listens and like 500 unique listeners or something like that, which is actually super exciting. I guess our numbers are really good for a new podcast. So
Sweet. Good
So
job.
sharing that on social media, leaving reviews. At this point, the 5 stars are great, but you probably don't have to leave 5-star reviews anymore if you don't think we're worth 5 stars. When we were starting, that was necessary. Now you can do your 4.5. Like, if some Swedish guy
still don't have to watch it or listen to it, right?
Right.
Like, you just gotta rate
You
it.
don't have to watch it. We just want your download and your rating. That's it.
Yeah. Some Swedish guy gave us 4 out of 5 because we swear too much. He's like, I wish they didn't swear.
But you know those people who will give you 4 out of 5 stars and then say, best podcast I've ever listened to. And you're just like,
until I worked...
So you giving me 4 out of 5? Like...
Until I worked at a bank, I would have never given anyone a perfect rating. Like, it just wasn't in my DNA. Like, I didn't believe a perfect rating was possible. Right? Like, I was like, a perfect rating would be like, I don't know, you gave me a 5-course dinner and my bank check, right? Like, like there was the next level. So I never rated anyone 5 stars until I worked at a bank and went, oh shit, every time anyone asks me for a survey, the only acceptable result is like a perfect score for nothing.
That's the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
We do that at my work too. Yeah. Corporations need to get rid of the star thing if it's going to be a binary pass-fail, and it just needs to say, was everything good? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And there's just going to be the 2 buttons on the screen.
Agreed.
There needs to not be 10 stars, and if you rate it 9, it's actually bad. Like, that needs to go away.
All right. We got our plugging in. We got our talking in. Anybody have any, like, pressing concerns before we start the game? Anything you gotta get off your chest? Excellent. Let's dive in.
We're about to get eaten.
5:30 in the morning, man. What do you want from me? Like,
I don't know. You brought the heat in the pregame banter, like before stream started. You were on point. So, all right. Anyway,
I would like Millman to sleep more. I would like that to happen. He took like a 1-hour nap before the game. That's it. I'm very concerned about that young man's health.
no, do not tell me this, because like I've been getting up at midnight every night for the last fucking God knows like week for work, and now I'm like, if I go back to a regular sleeping pattern, I'm gonna have to fuck this up and do it all over again.
No, I'm not saying you have to have a regular sleeping pattern. I just want you to get enough sleep. Doesn't matter what time that is. I just want you to get enough sleep.
But this is when my brain works at the best for wacky adventures, is
All
when
right.
it's on 0 sleep.
well,
Let's
we
do this
appreciate
wacky
you getting your brain in the right spot for wacky adventures. All right.
Yes.
So, last session, before review, we're pulled in through the Silver Lord's Gate, and you began the adventure finding yourself on the other side. The altar that you found yourself at was now in the middle of some kind of wood that was strange and unusual to you. Crystals growing from the trees, everything this soft, ethereal light that never seemed to dim or change. The temperature, ambience never changed. The wilderness around you, an uneery level of stillness. After some time, you investigated the basins in this altar from the other side in the Silver Lords, and you found that the murals were blank and the basins empty. Upon beginning to fill them slightly, you realized that you would need to fill these basins with the correct offerings to the Silver Lord in order to begin filling in the murals. You suspected this might be able to let you traverse back to the other side. However, you weren't able to fill them all up with what was on your meager possessions, and so began adventuring out into these unknown woods. There was kind of moonlit roads through the tree paths that you followed for some time before finding yourselves a group of maidens bathing in a strange pool of what seemed like crystalline water. Taking the earmuffs off and casting some protection from evil on Sambar, you investigated the maidens only to find them to split apart into wretched halves with large maggot-like creatures falling out of them that attempted to clamp themselves onto you and consume your flesh. After some pitched battle, you managed to defeat them and destroy their grubbing innards, and took a rest at this lake, finding it to be very viscous, runny, almost like a lake full of honey. Underneath the lake, you found a series of gems with some plan with a rope and a magical hand. You retrieved a few of them, finding kind of starburst inlaid gems of multiple colors in your pockets, along with some fruits growing growing at the edge of the lake. Large, oversized fruits the size of your head that, when drunk from, gave Sambar and Rose some extra vitality and some extra vigor for the fights to come. After some more exploring and going back and forth between the altar, you found yourself in a small kind of city right on the edge of the Silver Lord's castle. After exploring some of the homes, you found the salts and the honey that you were looking for to fill your basins, as well as some interesting architectural choices from this other world, and the pictures of the Silver Lord. After taking a rest here to lick your wounds from some further fights, you began to make your way towards a cathedral, where you see in stained glass the images that you suspect to be identical to those on the murals. The door itself was unlocked, and as you made your way in, you heard the whispering sounds of a woman's voice as soon as you stepped into the church. "Ah, my son, it has been so long since I have eaten. Have you brought me food?" And that is where we will pick up our investigation today. The four of you have stepped into this cathedral, and I will show it to you here on Roll20. This is the area that you find yourself in. Stone pews are built into the ground that you can see lead up to this kind of central area where this kind of long flowing purple rug resides. At the far end of the rug, you see an altar that's raised up 2-3 feet off the ground, and on the altar itself are two large basins with the smell of pungent wine wafting down that immediately assaults your senses. The cathedral seems to be in a state of disrepair that you are unfamiliar with. The rest of this land seems to be very much in a state of perpetual stillness and perpetual readiness. This cathedral is crumbling inside and dirty. There are strands of black, kind of wispy, almost hair, strewn throughout the floor around you as you walk and look. There are piles of it, almost like small haystacks in corners of the room. And underneath the smell of pungent wine, you get a smell of dusty decay.
I completely forgot this is where we left the game last week, and I'm hella excited.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking we left it off right after we finished our rest because there was a chance I was going to be late today, and I was like, oh, it's fine. We'll have to explore the town and stuff. And then when I was like, I might be a little late, Greg's like, and I went, oh, fuck, no. We were like getting talked to by some spoopy voice.
So again,
is there?
What's
I was just say, speaking of spoopy voice, is there a source to this voice that we can see, or is it just?
You look around, and it does not seem to have a presence here. Go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you can find something else that might be more than just the obvious source.
Let me do you one better, Greg.
Yes.
I'd like to use my Eyes of the Grave ability, which detects any undead creature within 60 feet of me.
Excellent.
As long as I think it kind of works like detect magic, as long as they aren't behind total cover.
Okay.
By the way, Jandar would have it detect magic up.
Yes, you cast detect magic before you came in. That is correct.
And I'll also roll a perception check just in case my Eyes of the Grave doesn't see something.
Right. So with your Eyes of the Grave, go ahead and roll your perception check at advantage.
Okay. All right. I was going to say undead would just pop up, but anything that isn't undead, I'm not likely to see with those rolls. Let's hope that gets out of the system early. So,
your eyes roll black, deep and dark, as you scan for undead creatures. Nothing immediately appears to you as an undead creature. as you roll all of your d20s for the game right there.
Yeah, I'm flushing the system. I don't like that there's 2 1s and only 120 there. That's not good.
All of the church stands still and quiet for you again as you look around. But then you hear once more the same call. Oh, it has been so long since I've eaten. Come, step forward.
I'm like reaching into my bag and I'm rustling through and I'm like, I got some fruits, and I'm like gonna step like 10 feet in front of the party, like looking for something to give the fruit to and see if that'll bait whatever it is.
As you step forward, you hear the voice call out to you yet again. Yes, come to the altar. Come to me. I will eat.
You can't eat me. I'm a nice person. I'm like walking in slowly. I can't control my character, by the way.
You can't?
No, I've got no control of my token.
Well, hold on. Let's fix that.
I can move me, but I can't move Sandbar.
Oh, because it's not controlled by anybody. Weird.
Sandbar is a free spirit. Nobody controls him.
Yeah, there you go. You should be able to control yourself now. Apparently, Sandbar had no controls previously.
Alright, I'll move. Oh, this map is not to increment, so I'll just get there.
The map is to scale, however, it is not grid marked.
No. There we go. Put some hit points on him. Beautiful. Yeah, I move in. I'm going to be looking around to see if I can see that voice. Can I?
Sure. Make yourself a perception check as you begin striding ever forward into the...
18.
All right. As you look around and you hear this voice talking to you, you see coiled up around this room are these kind of haystacks worth of dark black hair almost. And you think the voice is emanating from one of those haystacks in the corner down here. To the right of the room. I'm gonna have to move Roll20 down just a touch here. You hear the voice coming from this area and rolled up in one of these tangled masses of black hair.
I'll like gesture and then like point in that corner, be like, look at them, like it's over there, and then I'll keep moving in.
All right.
I'll go half my movement, so if I panic, I can run away. It's big and scary. I'm out.
You cautiously step forward. Still nothing changes. After you stop moving, every time you take a few steps forward and you stop, you hear the voice yet again call out to you, "Come, keep coming. I hunger so."
Do we see any skeletons lying around? Any bones? Like...
No.
Something
you
like
do not
that?
see any bones in the room as you look around. It is in a state of disrepair. There's crumbling rock and stone and crystal in here, but there are no bones that you can see.
I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna walk up to Sandbar, and I'm gonna cast Protection from Good and Evil on him.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing the same thing.
So I'll start concentrating on that spell, and then I will advance up to the here, where because the altar is down here, right? This is what that is.
Yes, that is the raised altar down at the bottom.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, so from there, I'm going to use my Eyes of the Grave thing again, and that should get the whole big part of the room, because before it ended, right before this.
Yes, indeed.
On the floor.
You use your Eyes of the Grave. Again, nothing stands out as undead.
Okay.
There are no undead creatures that you see. However, you have now advanced a good portion in the room and are once again looking. You once again identify this voice as it calls out to you. You are almost certain that the source of this voice comes from over here.
Okay.
In this pile of hair, just tangled and strewn on the ground.
Are we playing Don't Starve? Is my sanity degraded to the point that all the rabbits are hairlings now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my bow and I'm gonna move up and look back at Janla and Rose and I'm like, "Are you coming? We need the wine."
I look at Jen and I say, "Can you feel anything? Can you see anything?"
Nothing. I can't see anything with my detect magic activated. But he's right. We do need the wine.
And I just look at them like, if you grab it, we can run. Let's go.
Trying to think. Do I have anything to carry it in? I don't really have anything to carry the wine in.
No, most
I
of
don't
us
care.
don't.
You
We've got
dive
one
in,
wineskin
soak
that's
your
full of
clothes
honey.
into it.
Yeah, I got
Just
one.
dive in it, soak your clothes in it. We can wring out your clothes later. Let's go. Come on.
Is the wine in like a big bowl, or is it like a...
They're much like everything else you've seen. Everything is in these like basins, right? Everything in this realm, for the most part, seems to be in these basins, like offerings, and this is no exception. Much like you saw the smaller basins of honey and salt in the homes, there are two bronzed basins with this pungent wine smell wafting out from them. They are both on the altar.
Just drink a ton and then regurgitate it into the basement later.
That sounds like a me thing to do, but I was more thinking I was going to monster hunter this bitch, just pick up the whole big basin and just run out, like arms out, like I'm carrying the big eggs, and then you guys just cover my escape. Let's do this.
Yeah, I have no way to carry that. I'm so
Yeah.
encumbered. You look at Chandler, barely able to carry what he is carrying.
Spell books and stuff.
Yeah, just totally over encumbered.
What do you do? Again, the voices call out to you. Come, I am so very hungry. You offered me food.
All right, I guess I'll move up. Like,
Before we move up any further, I'm gonna cast Protection from Evil and Good on Rose.
Okay.
Ooh.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
What do I-
As you reach the center of that circle, Sandbar,
perfect.
you are immediately assaulted by a wave of magical energy as the ball of hair here finally reveals itself, and it stands in this tangled mass of hair and tangled bits. You see revealed a face inside of it, dark, foreboding, and bleeding out of one eye. It reaches up and it inhales, and you feel the magical energy draining, trying to absorb you through your skin. You feel your innards being pulled forward. Please make a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Here I was thinking you were going to ask for a wisdom saving throw.
Here comes the 20. Nope.
There's the 14.
Oh!
On the money.
All right, you pass. So you will have your maximum hit points reduced by half of 5. Your maximum hit points are reduced by 2.
But
permanently.
do they reduce my temporary ones that I got from eating the fruit, or my just natural?
You have your maximum hit dice. So temporary hit points do not make your maximum HP harder.
So they don't affect
right? So you still have your temporary HP, right? If you were to get hit, it would get reduced, but your maximum total is what is actually reduced by this effect. And with that, I believe it is time that we all roll initiative as the face of this terrible creature is revealed.
Needs to be punched in, because that's my hit points, yo. I'm a battle turtle.
Yeah. There's no go. Can't be messing with the boys' hit points.
That's it, man.
Alrighty, let me get my stat block out here.
-1. That very dwarfy initiative.
All right. The creature
I
goes
cannot
at
tell
10.
what this picture of this thing is supposed to be.
Janlar is 19. Good.
It's so weird looking.
Good. Yes. Janlar goes at 19. Rose goes at 12. Sambar at 14. Goric at 4, the monster at 10. Janlar, you were the first to react as you see this creature reveal itself out of the tangle of hair. Its bloody face staring at you. The ethereal cry absorbs some of the life essence from Millman. You see it float through the air, physical in its form, like droplets of blood as they absorb into this towering mass of hair. What do you do?
Well, I'm within 60 feet of it, so I'm gonna cast Shatter on it.
Okay.
On just like this point here.
All right. Shatter is a dexterity saving throw.
It is, I believe so. Let me check.
Okay.
It might be Constitution, but I think it's Dex.
I think it's Dex.
I think it's Dex as well. All right, so it fails. It rolls a 9 on this saving throw. You have this loud.
Sorry, it's a con save. It says here.
Okay, well that'll make it a 10, which still fails. Okay, so that's a Constitution save. The air around this cracks in this sharp, thunderous, shattering sound. The stones in this area rip apart. You see rubble flying as she takes how much damage? 13? Excellent. The hair kind of whips around and untangles as the shattering whips across it. And you see the hair kind of obscures a more feminine form, but there's so much of it that all you see is this cascading, tangled knots of hair and this like visage underneath this masked face that bleeds out of one eye. And that is probably the end of your turn. Do you have anything else you want to do?
I'm just gonna move a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, move on up. Excellent. Which brings us to Sambar. You have had your life energy drained. You're the closest to this creature. What do you do?
That was hella rude. I narrow in and I'm gonna sharpshoot this bitch. So roll it. Come on. 15. It's a 15 hit.
Yes, a 15 does hit.
Hell yeah. That's a total of 18 damage.
A total of 18 damage. All right, you take your sharp shot. You aim just for the mask. Your arrow strikes true. It pierces into the fleshy bit on the other side of this mask. You hear a horrific howl of shrieking pain. Just it assaults your ears as you do this. But she takes 18 points of damage from your bow shot.
I'm going to do a second wind, an action surge, and I'm gonna put another one in the same eye slot.
All right.
Let's split an arrow, guys.
All right, fire away.
15
hits.
Fucking split these arrows.
You do exactly that. You quickly whip out another arrow. Quick shot. The shaft of your previous arrow splits in twine as your arrow pierces the same exact spot, dealing damage. This creature once again. There's droplets of blood that begin falling down onto the hair, leaving it even more matted and disgusting. That will bring us to Rose. You have stood in the back this whole time, way back here. What are you doing?
Yo. Well, this is kind of a weird area for Rose as well. She's not very used to cathedral ruins, I guess. So she's standing back because it was a little awkward and a little frightening. Mm-hmm. And now she's gonna move forward about, let's see, 30 feet. Oh my god, I am way back. This is a very small map. Okay. Into here, and I would like to cast Bark Skin on myself.
Okay, you cast your Bark Skin. And with that, this creature begins thrunnling forward. You don't see it walk or run. It's just the hair kind of just picks it up and it rushes forward in a mass. And it races up. Oops. I gotta be on my correct layer now. It races up to this point here, and begins making attacks with its long bits of hair, whipping them at you, like living tendrils, like living whips, much like you see Rose use her vines. The first attack will, of course, go against Sambar. +5 to hit.
Put it on me.
For 15.
That's my AC. Give me that damage.
All right. You take D4 plus 2. Please make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
There's the roll we're looking for.
Alrighty. You take 5 points of piercing damage, and you will take half of this damage. You take 5 points of piercing damage and 5 points of poison damage as the hair like lashes into you. It like drips its toxins into your blood. You feel immediate burning and pain everywhere it lashes out. It then will whip its attacking hair at our honored dwarf here. He's the only one in range.
Yeah. Did it have disadvantage on its attack roll against Millman?
It did not. No.
Okay. So it does not look like that spell is doing much at the moment.
Unfortunately, not this time. An 11 to hit you.
That misses Goric.
Okay.
Goric, is there any change? Like, is there any way to tell if the protection from evil and good is working?
I mean, like as written in the spell, not exactly, but I would imagine there's probably some sort of visual aversion or reaction or wording of some kind that would repel it if it was affected.
Janlar, now that you are in this range of the creature, after it whips its 2 attacks out, it turns its head to you, and it makes that same unreal energy whip towards you, and it screeches, sucking in at you. Please make a DC 14 Constitution save.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. You will take half against your 3 of your maximum hit points are reduced by her absorption as like droplets of your essence are warped through the air into her being. All right, that is the end of this creature's turn, which brings us to Goric. You have been seen your companion struck, and you have fended off the hair scratching. What do you do?
Okay. I will open by casting Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action right here between it and Janlar.
Okay, excellent. Let's get you something here.
Yeah. And it's going to roll an attack. My spellcasting bonus, which is +6. 17 to hit it.
A 17 does hit it.
R1D. I think Spiritual Weapon's a D8 plus my casting modifier. So it should take 9 points of damage.
All right, you should be able to take that sickle. 9 points of damage, you say. The sickle appears, rakes into the hair. Some of it falls on the ground, coming off of the tangled knots around this creature as it takes some points of damage. What else do you do with your turn?
I will also, I think, just use my my action to cast Sacred Flame on it.
Okay.
It needs to make a dex save.
Absolutely. An 8, it fails.
Yep, that is a fail. It's gonna take D8 radiant damage.
Okay.
What kind of damage does... Force damage is what Spiritual Weapon does, if that's relevant.
It doesn't
1d8.
change much, but good to know.
All right. And 4 radiant damage.
4 points of radiant damage. Your sickle slices through. The light of the grave erupts around this. She screams again in pain. And that is the end of your turn. Bring us back around to Janlar. You've had your essence ripped out from you, seen this creature attack your friends. What do you do?
I think you're muted, Dan.
You're muted.
Sorry. I don't really like that, so I'm gonna try to back away. But I'm gonna attack first with Firebolt.
All right, you strike it with your fireball, and please roll some damage. You see your firebolt strike this creature, and then immediately erupt in flames as her dried out hair just begins to burn and erupt, setting her on fire, doing much more damage than you expected it to do. And her face has been kind of looking back and forth between all of you, and then it snaps to you now as you've struck it with fire, and it screams.
And that's always my turn.
All right, you move away. Excellent. Which brings us to Sambar. This thing has struck you and poisoned you. What do you do?
I've had enough of her business. I'm going to drop my bow and then give her a good poke with my spear.
Phrasing.
All right. I'm going to use my spear with 2 hands, so let's give her a good poke.
All right.
Oh
no! Your spear gets lost in the tangle of hair as you have to fight for the rest of your turn to rip it back. Alrighty.
I guess that's me.
Excellent. So, that is Sambar, which brings us to Rose. Rose, you step forward and cast Bark Skin. What do you do?
I'm going to tumble to the ground, erupt from under my cloak with an angry roar, and as a black bear, barrel through here, make my way over there.
All right.
And that's my action.
I thought she said angry boar, and I was thinking this was I was thinking this was Pumbaa. They call me Mr. Pig.
That line is so good.
Yeah, and that's all I do.
All right, Faye. There is your bear form. You erupt out as a boar, taking your action and rushing up to the...
A bear!
A bear, I'm
Still
sorry.
a bear.
Didn't I say a bear?
You said a boar!
Oh! You erupt as a bear, rushing up to this creature. Excellent. Great. That brings us to this creature's turn. And it is eyes locked on Janlar. The first thing it will do is once again erupt in that scream, sucking up your life essence. Please make a DC 14 Constitution save.
I hate this guy. Not you. Take Constitution again.
All right, you fail. You will lose
Come on.
6 of your maximum HP. It has been reduced, and you see the stream of your essence just drawing into this creature's maw. It then whips around, looking for an avenue you can tell to move past you. Doesn't see one, and then just lashes out. The closest character between this creature and Janlar is Goric. Goric, it will strike at you twice with its hair. The first, a 21. The second, a 24, both hitting you.
Yep, those will definitely both hit.
All right, so
Yikes.
I need you to make 2 separate DC 14 Constitution saves.
Okay.
Uh,
TP20.
Greg, I'm assuming it does so, but the shrieking HP damage thing, it bypasses my arcane ward, correct?
it does. It simply reduces your maximum HP.
So presumably that would also deal damage if you were over your max, right? Or if it would lower your max past where you're at. Right?
If it lowers your max past 0, you will die. You will have no HP.
Right, but if you were at full HP and you lost 3 off your max, it would deal damage. But if you were 5 down,
If you were at, let's say you had taken damage, you took 3 points of damage and you originally had 20 HP. So you're at 17 of 20 HP.
Yeah.
When it screams, absorbs your maximum HP. If it rolls 2, right, you would then be 17 of 18 HP.
Yeah.
If it rolled 4, you would then be 16 of 16 HP.
So that's 1 pass, 1 fail on my con save.
All right. The failure is going to be very bad for you. So the failure means you're going to take full 9 points of poison damage, and the pass you will take 4 points of poison damage, and then the creature just begins staring intensely at Janlar.
So I take 13, right?
Yes, you took 10 from the 2 piercing hits, and then the 9 and the 4 from the poison.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I take 23.
This creature
total.
puts out a lot of damage if it focus fires. It seems enraged that it has been lit on fire and is seething, trying to clear a way to Janlar. But that ends its turn. Bringing us to your turn, Gorik, what do you do?
I took a absolute shot from that ability. Wow. I didn't lose any max HP, right? Because it didn't use that ability. It just dealt a shit ton of damage.
It just dealt a shit ton of damage to you, yes.
Okay. Well, we don't have. Well, we have a druid, but she's a bear right now. Actually, I technically need to make. I took one attack. No, I took 2 attacks.
You took 2 separate attacks, yeah. I rolled them together.
Yeah.
So your concentration save would be 10 for each of them.
Right. I passed the first one, but I lose the second one, so I'm not focused. Yeah. I'm not concentrating on protection from good and evil anymore.
Okay.
Not that it was helping much anyway, but for record keeping, I lose it. I'm at minus 23. At 3 hit points. What do I want to do? That takes an action. That thing takes a bonus action. I need health. I guess I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
At second level? It's not going to make much difference. Because it's only D4. Nah, I'll do second level. So let's do our 2d4 plus 4.
All right. Wow.
Bad. 10 hit points back.
Good amount of healing there.
That's good.
Yeah. At least puts me back in double digits, so I shouldn't get Villithed again. And then with my action, I will disengage, and I will just move back to about there.
Okay, you disengage away from the creature, providing it an opportunity to move forward. Excellent. Janlar, you've had your essence drained by this creature. You've seen Gorik get mauled by it. What do you do?
Now that Gorik is stepped away, I'm definitely terrified. I get hit, but what do you got? So I'm gonna cast Firebolt again.
Okay.
And make my full move after that away.
All right.
I'm guessing these are pews, right? These,
they
like,
are, yes. They're built. They're stone pews built into the ground.
Okay.
Your roll to hit is a 24. That hits for 14 points of damage. Again, fire erupting, crackling over her dried masses of hair, immediately catching fire, smoldering, smoking. And she cries out once more in pain.
And then I want to make my max move away, but I don't know how to draw the little lines. So someone show me.
So every square on here is roughly 5 feet. So if you just count the squares, you'll be good.
All right, I'm gonna try to go hide back here.
All right, that is your turn, Janlar. Sambar, you've seen this creature move kind of away from you. It seems focused elsewhere. What do you do?
All right, let's poke her in the butt.
All right, you're gonna try the butt now.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, he got lost in the hair last time.
Exactly. So let's get her in the butt. 11?
11 does not hit. Once again, your spear just gets lost in this tangled mass of burning hair, and you're unable to find purchase.
Oh, that's me.
All right, Sambar ends your turn. Rose, you are now a bear in front of this burning mass of tangled hair. What will you do?
I'm going to stand on my hind legs and claw at her, or try to at least.
Okay, excellent.
18?
An 18 will hit.
For 9 damage.
For 9
and then I'm
points
gonna
of damage.
follow it up with the bite.
Absolutely.
For 13.
A 13 does not hit.
Right.
You try to bite, you just get a mouthful of burning hair. It tastes like ash. It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with your turn there?
Nope, that's all.
All right, that brings it to this creature's turn, and she single-mindedly staring at Janlar, just immediately, again, just rushes, just thrunnels forward. There's no, like, look of walking or running, just this mass, just all at once begins rushing forward. All of you within melee attack range can have attacks of opportunity. As she steps through this here, you're going to get an attack of opportunity as well. As she rushes here and here.
Is she going through Gorik's range?
She is. You get attack. All of you get attacks of opportunities.
Okay.
Oh, well, I missed.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sambar,
Feels
you
good.
hit.
Fucking poking the butt for 11 piercing.
All right, you poke her in the butt on the way by.
Nope, that's probably gonna miss.
Okay, yeah, 10 does not hit. All right, perfect. And with that, Janlar, she immediately reaches out with her hair, trying to strike you down. That is a 22 to hit,
That hits.
and a 7 to hit. So the 22 will hit. Please make me a DC 10 Constitution, or DC 14. I'm sorry, Constitution saving throw for the poison.
That's a pass.
All right, you're gonna take half of the poison damage. So you take 5 piercing, and you're gonna take half of the 46 poison. So you will take 5 piercing and 3 poison damage from her hair, and then she once again locks this horrifying visage on you, with the like bleeding mask split in part by the arrows of Sambar. You see this like frail, skin stretched tight over bone looking figure underneath, and she attempts to suck your life force from you once again. Please make a DC 14 con saving throw.
Alright, just for a note, all of that damage was taken by my arcane ward.
Perfect.
Now
All
I
right.
have no more ward left.
All right, you fail the suction. So she will reduce your maximum HP by another 6. You see your maximum life force just draining away. She's just absorbing you. That brings us to Gorik. It is your turn. You've seen this creature rush after Janlar. What do you do?
Question 1 for you, Greg. With where you've got her, she's kind of occupying 6 squares. Is she in these 4 or in these 4?
She's in these 4.
Yeah,
Damn.
how big are these?
She has 10 foot reach, so she's in exactly this mass.
How big
Okay.
are these things?
Each square's 5 feet. So, because I think, yeah. I was asking because my spiritual weapon can only move 20 feet, which means it can only get to there at best, which is just out of reach. So I may not use spiritual weapon. First things first, I'm gonna use my action to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Please roll to hit.
R1d20 plus 6.
That hits.
That ought to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Guiding Bolt's 3d6. Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
3d6 with an extra d6 per level that you casted a higher.
I'm only casting it at first.
Okay.
So she's gonna take 14 points of radiant damage.
Radiant damage? Okay,
I
she
think-
takes
I'm pretty sure Guiding
14.
Bolt's
Chromatic
I'm gonna
Orb's
hope
the
it's
one
fire,
you get to
but I'm pretty
choose,
sure.
right?
I'm pretty sure it's radiant.
One of the cleric spells you get to choose. Is it Guiding Bolt or Chromatic Orb?
Oh, it's 4d6 radiant actually,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but it is radiant.
Roll an extra d6.
Yep, R1d6.
Actually, this d6 might matter.
It's an extra 6. She takes 20 points.
Please describe the death
Wow.
of this creature for us.
All right. So she's up there doing her shriek on Janlar, and she's like siphoning life force off of him and everything. And Gorik holds his holy symbol up, his little black book of the dead, and the sarcophagus on the front of it glows, and this beam of radiant light shoots through it, hits her in the back, and as she's like screaming, it just bursts out her mouth, and she just burns away in radiant light into ash.
All right, excellent. And that is exactly what happens. Janlar, as your life is being drained from you, you see this creature just erupt in this radiant beam of light and just fly into an immense amount of ash falling over you like a volcano erupted.
Thanos snap ashes.
Yes. And now you lie once again still in this cathedral. The air around you resumes the unnatural calm that has permeated this entire plane, this entire trip through the Silver Lord's realm. What do you do?
You see Sambar pick up his bow and he slings it over himself and he just rubs his face and he's like, "That bitch sucked."
Janlar will come out from hiding behind the smallest pillar of all time and come over here and ask for some fruit.
I'm like, "I already got one. Here you go."
Do you have any fruit left? Isn't it all in the basin?
No, you only end up making me use like 4 of them. I have.
Okay.
I have 9. So
you picked a lot of fruit. All right.
We did. We rolled really well on the picking fruit.
Yeah. You can drink the fruit. It will give you these temporary hit points, but they do not stack. Right. So drinking of the fruit will only refresh you to 10 temporary HP. It won't go beyond that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have one for the first time, and I'll have.
Okay.
Isn't your arcane ward is also temporary HP, isn't it, technically?
No.
Arcane ward, I think, absorbs damage.
Okay.
I don't think it's temporary HP. It's like a shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
You're probably right.
Pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
There's half my spell slots for the day gone already.
So, what do you all do now? You're standing in this cathedral.
I look at the party. I'm like, I guess let's get some wine, and I'll like pull out my water skin and just empty it onto the floor, and get ready to fill up. I feel kind of bad about actually emptying it on the floor, so I might shotgun it just because like this is a temple that's already been defiled.
Was it your wineskin that you had emptied to put the honey in before?
I think it was, wasn't it? Didn't you shotgun your water already?
I have 3 wineskins, so I let him finish off my partially drinking wineskin so he could fill honey in it, because I only have 2 wineskins left. I'm not letting him empty those.
I'm gonna shotgun my water skin and fill that up with wine.
You shotgun the water skin. Water dribbling down your chin for the second time in a few hours as you just shotgun this water down and you have an empty water skin. You walk up to the altar?
Yeah, I'm going to walk up to the altar.
All right. As you walk up to the altar, you see, of course, this raised altar. There's steps up to it about 3 feet off the ground. The basins on either side. In the center of it, there's a small little tablecloth there. And there is a tome just sitting open on the altar, as if it were to be read from, like a little lectern. The tome itself is written in some strange language, symbologically different than both Sylvan and in the demon language. I don't remember the other one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of the head. But the two
Infernal.
Thank you. Yeah. Sylvan and Infernal that you have both encountered in this as a seeker. This is different. Similar in structure, right? Old like that. This kind of almost glyphic language written down here, but obviously and immediately different than the languages that you've seen before. As it just is sitting there nicely in between these 2 basins of wine.
Can I pick it up?
The book, yeah.
Yeah, I want to pick it up.
The book does not affect you. In fact, it's very old. You pick it up, and it is so delicate that like the corners of some of the pages begin to kind of fall away into dust where your fingertips touch them. You notice this quickly and take your hands off the most delicate parts, and you lift by the binding. But you have this very old, very delicate book that is.
I want to wrap it in my traveling. Is my traveling clothes? Yeah. The extra set of clothes, I want to wrap it up in there.
All right, so you're going to try to carefully close it and wrap it up. This book does not radiate magic to your eyes.
Can Janlar cast Mending? Does he know that cantrip?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, what's his name? Tom is our mender. He is mending.
Tom's got Mending.
Why does he have mending? He burns everything.
He's got to mend things he burns, you know? All right. So,
but after doing that, I'm gonna
before we get to you, Mike, Janlar, or not Janlar, Sambar, you are attempting to wrap this very delicate book and close it and get it protected. I want you to make a sleight of hands check to accurately do this without damaging it further.
Okay.
I'm gonna set the DC at 15. This is a delicate task. This is very difficult.
Okay. Come on, give me that 15. Ah!
All right. As you close this book up, you see it just like begin to like crumble and turn into that dust. You are careful with it, and you manage to save some of it. But you can tell as you've wrapped it up that there's definitely lost pages in here, lost text to the crumbling sands.
Fuck. I tried to save a book and it didn't do very well. Okay? I'm like putting it in my bag real gentle like.
So, my question was going to be, before Sambar tried to wrap the book up, could I try and cast Gentle Repose on it and see if it's decaying any further? Typically, it works on a body. I don't know if it would work on a book, but it kind of prevents decay. Do I think
Gentle
that would
Repose does not work on like non-living things, right? Like creatures.
But maybe if the book was made of vellum, like
if the book was getting death saving throws, you could use Gentle Repose to stabilize the book. However,
but that's Spare the Dying. Gentle Repose is the one that prevents it from decaying or being raised as undead.
Oh. Okay, I still no.
Yeah.
Gentle Repose
is the suspended animation spell.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different spell, but still.
Yeah, I didn't think it would work, but I wanted to throw that out as an offer just in case it could prevent the book from crumbling.
And then I'll just be like, I'll ask Tom to fix it, but he's not allowed to burn it though. I'm gonna learn to read it. That's
what
my
language
goal.
was it written in?
I don't know. I know Sylvan. And, it wasn't in Sylvan. So, and I know Elvish, too, and that's not an Elvish. And definitely wasn't common.
We got wine.
Okay, let's fill up our wine. I think we've got everything we need, right?
I would... So while people are handling books and wine, the bear would like to bumble bear through the cathedral and have a good sniff around.
All right. You sniff around.
Come on, Yogi, find us some more honey.
Give me a perception check at advantage with your keen nose.
Let's see. Oh. Oh, god damn it. It would be with my bear stats anyways. I'm an idiot.
When you transform as a druid, your physical stats, strength, dex, con.
Oh, only them, but I keep the mental ones, right?
You keep your own mental stats. So this is your wisdom at advantage.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a 12.
You sniff around, you begin wandering through. What you end up getting is a lot of this hair smell. Like this hair smell is pungent and deep and dark, and it's bad. And you don't like it. And you don't manage to find a lot else. However, as you bumble around in this bottom right corner, where we were before, down here, where the creature came from, you smell something else. Like, just faintly, very, very faintly on the very tip of your nose, there's just something sweeter, something that's not this hair, even though this is where the creature immediately came from. And as you sniff around, you find a little trapdoor in this room. And there, you can't open it as a bear, as it's flat and has a little handle. But you notice this little wooden trapdoor in the stone floor.
Well, I'm gonna stand on my hind legs and I'm gonna let out a roar, and I'll like have my my other legs just dangle in front of me and just do like a little dance in front of the trapdoor, I guess, like this.
I look at the bear and I'm like, do you need to go potty?
I tap one of my paws.
Chandler will walk over. While I've been walking around this room with my detect magic, do I notice anything?
In this floor up here, no. Only the items that you brought with you that are magic.
Okay. Yeah. I would walk over to where the bear is then and look around.
You immediately find this trapdoor in this little room down here that the bear is dancing next to. There's a wooden door with a little handle that you can get your hand in to open up.
Are those black lines, are those walls? There's a door here and a door here
Correct.
that you have to cross?
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
But the bear wandered around and found its way into those rooms.
So there's another door over there then?
There is.
Okay. While they do that, I'm gonna open that door.
I call over.
You
Sandbar, there's a trapdoor.
I'll be there in a second. I just want to check out this altar. Is there any, because this is obviously a church, is there a holy symbol for this church here?
Not on the altar itself, but as you look up from the altar, you see the resplendent image of the Lord of Silver painted on the wall. With kind of arms held out as if offering things. Every time you've seen him pictured, you see him offering something. And around his neck, he wears a pendant in this image. And this is the only image in which you've seen him wear a pendant. And in it is the hands of some humanoid, presumably his own, or maybe one of his subjects, held in the beggar's pose.
Cool. Is it just the painting, or?
Yes, it is like a mural on the stone.
I say to the guys, I'm looking for that pendant. I want that pendant. This guy's a nice giver. I'm a nice guy. I like giving things. I want that pendant. Please. Please.
All right. Gorik, you open this door here. You find inside what appears to be like a priest quarters. There is some small furniture, much like the furniture you've seen in the other buildings before the cathedral. Oversized for humans and humanoids from your homeland, misshapen at odd angles, but definitely recognizable. You see just some small standing tables, a chair resting, a little cot in the corner, and a large armoire all looking thing, except ornate. It has a lot of decorative work done to the wood. It has 3 cupboards in it. It seems to be some kind of holding vessel that is quite elaborate. It meant perhaps to hold the gowns of whoever was priest here, or something more than that. But it seems to have some importance compared to all the other furniture that you've seen.
What sort of shape is it in? Because most of the stuff in here has been kind of run down, right?
Everything
in the temple?
Yes, it shares that same rundownedness.
Okay.
It looks aged, not used in many a year, but it was clearly well made. It has held up to the age better than the rest of the temple, but yet still clearly shows signs of wear.
I'll tell Sambar, I'm like, there's a wardrobe in here. Perhaps you can find your pendant, and I'll kind of swing the door open.
Ooh, and I get giddy
on the armoire.
You see him with the little hop in his step, as a deer. He hops straight past.
There are 3 kind of cabinets, essentially. If you consider an armoire with 3 places. Two of the smaller kind of squares are on either side, and then a more central one. Opening the squares on either side, you see urns. The left side shows golden urns that are sealed and decorated with the outward hands of the beggar's pose. On the right-hand side, you see open silver urns that are empty, and a small silver plate resting next to them that appear to have had something on it at one point in time, but it has decayed into rot and ash and petrified grossness. The decay of whatever was on here rotted and then petrified as rot on the dish in an indiscernible manner.
Are they actual silver? Like, if I flick it, is it actually like solid silver? Or
you touch the silver urn or the silver plate?
Both.
The silver plate is clearly silver. You hold it and touch it, and it feels like silver from home. You touch your coins, those oversized silver coins, and they have that different feel to them. They're something mineral in the silver, something different, thicker, heavier. This plate, light. It feels like the silver from home. You recognize it immediately. The urns, however, are made of that similar silver from the other side. The coins are made.
I'll take the lot, right? Like, we're looting and hooting. So...
The golden urn, you said, had like herbs or something on it?
It was sealed, and it is decorated with the beggar's hands.
Do you think maybe this has wheat in it for the...
Maybe.
basin?
Open it up. Do you want me to open it? Like, it could be tracked.
Yeah, I'll hand it to you and I'll say, hold your breath in case it's poison.
Oh. It's
you
the least of my
open
problems
the
right
golden
now.
urn. Both of you, please make me DC... no, what's my DC on this one? It's different than the girls. Please make me DC 12 Constitution saves against poison.
I like these.
Any advantage for holding our breath?
I will allow you to have advantage for holding your breath.
That's good, because it looks like I need it.
You were prepared for it. All right. Both of you inhale this poison. Please take half of...
Dead.
10. Please take 5 points of poison damage as you succeed on this saving throw. As soon as you unseal this golden urn, this horrific stench of death just assaults you. The insides of this, whatever was once in here, has rotted past the point of decay and into like clearly noxious, poisonous fumes that you come coughing away from as they disperse. But whatever is inside of there not only smells foul, but is inherently toxic.
Whew! That one takes your breath away.
We should probably just dump that out and keep the urn.
Good idea, and I just like tip it out, like. Do you want to hold the urn?
Maybe if you close it again.
It's like close it. Here you go, buddy. I will. We have a second one, right?
There's 2 silver urns and 1 gold urn.
Correct.
Right?
There was only 1 gold? Okay, I thought there was 2 and 2. Alright, well, I'll put the silver ones in my bag, and I'll open up the main door, I guess.
Inside of the main cabinet, you see...
Facehugger.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 5 cloakers attack you. No, the central, bit of this cabinet is like a wardrobe, and you see an array of vestments in many shades of silver. They are all recognizably silver, but each one is slightly different to your eye. All of them cut the same, with the same designs, each of them showing an image of the Silver Lord on the back, and on the breast over the heart, the symbol of the beggar's hands. All of them seem to be designed to fit someone 1.5 times your size, and oddly cut, much like the robes you found in the other houses, but these are more obviously decorative and ornate, sporting patterns.
I think it's cool, but I don't think I should wear them. What do you reckon? I just look at him like, does this work with me? You reckon
I think that's probably wise. We don't know what the Silver Lord's domains are.
You got a point. And he is enslaved.
Well, he's bound. I don't know about enslaved. But nothing that we have seen here really inspires me to think he's a benevolent god.
Like, I don't know.
Are there any drawers or anything in the armoire? Or does it just open up?
No, it's like 3 cabinets.
Okay.
Yes.
No pendant, though. God damn.
So,
Not
you guys are done investigating this room?
We'll look for a secret compartment in the armoire.
Sure.
False
Please
back or a false bottom or anything?
Yeah. You don't immediately find one just putting your hands on the back or the bottom, but go ahead and make an investigation check.
Like knock on it, see if it sounds hollow or anything.
Absolutely.
D20 plus, what is my investigation? I think it's, I'm trained in investigation.
Oh, very nice.
And I still roll shit because it's roll 20.
Yeah, you put your hands all over the armoire trying to find a secret compartment, and you come away with nothing.
Can I kick it?
You kick it.
I mean, I assume you can.
Like, I'm just like gonna kick it real hard and be like, bloody thing.
You kick it really hard. It rocks and creaks at the force of your mighty kick.
The trusty kick and the door pops open. Didn't do it. I guess that's all we can find.
All right.
Let's go help with a trapdoor.
We've been doing this.
A while. You've been sitting here investigating this for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the other two have dealt with the trapdoor already.
So, you two leave this door, and I think we'll take a break here. We've been going at this for a little bit more than an hour. And we will come back and investigate the trapdoor on the other side. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We will see you soon.